So someone asked me this week, how do I balance work and family? And it was really interesting because often I think we look at people around us and we just think they're nailing it. And obviously social media doesn't help with that at all. And honestly, I think it's really hard to strike the right balance between being a mum and being a business owner. So I'm not doing this video saying that I've nailed it, because I haven't, but I know what really hasn't worked and the key steps we've taken in my family and in my business to actually get into a place where there is much less friction and guilt just wrapped up into trying to juggle both work and family. So I'm going to be doing a deep dive into this today. And so if you're running a business and you're raising a family at the same time and you're excited to listen to this, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and help us reach even more people who would benefit from watching a video like this. All right, so let's get into it. So when I had my first child, Grace, who's now 9, which is crazy, it was pretty much me, myself and I running everything in the business. And when I had Grace, I didn't take any time off because we were just beginning to grow and I just didn't have the cash flow to get someone to take over. And we were also at a stage where I was just working everything out. So it was just a really, really hard time, if I'm being honest. There just wasn't any let up, and I don't think we talk about this stuff enough. My second child, Lawrence, who's now 5, we were much more established in the business, and although I wasn't doing all the roles, we were now running a lot of face-to-face training. I was working abroad, we were running workshops in corporates, we were spread way too thin, and in many ways having Lawrence was like the catalyst for realizing that I had to change my business model because it wasn't working. You know, I was burnt out, I was on all of the time, and I thought, I can't do this all over again. And that's when I gave myself a year to put my business online or quit, and I share that journey in this video here. Okay, so let's get into the 8 key shifts that I made in my life and in my business that has really enabled me to raise my family and run a business in a much easier way. The first and most important change I made in my business was changing my business from being a bricks and mortar business, trying to do all the things, running face-to-face programs, working in corporates, running courses abroad, building programs for people. We did all of that to an online business where we niched down into serving postnatal specialists. And I talk about the amazing benefits of niching down in this video here. And really for a long time, when we were creating many of our programs online, we were mostly live launching, which was fun, but also very, very pressured because I was constantly on, and it's a very pressured way of bringing in a lot of your income in a very short space of time, i.e. in like 2 to 3 days. And I realized that that way of working just wasn't what I envisaged for myself, and it just didn't work for my family. And what I wanted was to have that consistent income, like month after month. I wanted to have that system in place that did all the heavy lifting. And so what I did was I restructured our business so our courses were evergreen, and we built support around them with Facebook groups and coaching calls, and we had a very simple but effective funnel behind these courses, bringing in leads every single day, so we didn't have to do launches. And we also invested in really good systems that did a lot of the heavy admin work. And actually, by creating a business model that's simple, where I'm not trying to do a million different things and works for me day in and day out, was the best thing I have done in my business. I have so much more time back in my life and a sense of ease that I basically didn't have until that point where I made that switch. And that's what clients in my coaching program have found as well, like Carla, who went from working 6 days a week, juggling her sleep clients and feeling completely burnt out, to creating a transformational online coaching program that allowed her to reduce her work days down to 3.5 days a week, and where she decided to only work with a few one-to-one clients and basically just spend the rest of her time serving her incredible families in her program, which is truly amazing. Now, the second thing I did was create non-negotiable time to be with with my family. So it was time where, you know, completely protected. And really this all comes down to setting clear boundaries. In the past, I'd be off with my kids and I'd be taking calls, and I'd be on my phone doing emails as well, which basically meant that I wasn't really ever fully present, and I would just feel like I was doing a crap job at parenting and also a crap job at working. And really it was just that I wasn't able to let go of work, and it wasn't until I accepted that that was actually the issue that I was able to really make some changes. And what I did and what I changed was I decided the things which were totally non-negotiable in my life when it came to my family. So I take my kids to school every single day, and I'm off every Friday, so I pick them up from school, I take them to their activities, and then we play games, so family fun, and then we watch a film together. But there is no work on Friday afternoons or Friday evenings, and then at the weekends it's pretty much the craziness of taking them here, there, everywhere, but it's then just about being together as a family or seeing friends, but it's really protected time. And that has been so important to me. And so with the coaching programs that we run online, I set better boundaries. So I'm not available after a certain time in the evening, or I'm not available over the weekend. And it may seem completely obvious to some people, but we just didn't do it because we felt bad not being available all of the time. So just putting in those really simple boundaries, it just makes it clearer for everyone, but it allows you to obviously have much more time back in your life. Now, the other thing that I did is that I removed a lot of the apps from my phone. I removed notifications. So over a weekend, in an evening, often I don't even have my phone with me, but I'm not having these things pinging all the time that I used to have. I'm not aware when emails are coming through, or if someone's messaged me on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. I don't know, and I think that has been really, really important for me. It's not feeling like I'm constantly needing to respond to something. It's like I needed to kind of retrain my brain. And I basically just got very intentional about what needed to be outsourced. So when I'm off, things being managed, and if there's a family trip coming up, I make sure that I don't have calls booked in or a webinar happening just before or afterwards. I basically manage my workflow so it isn't really busy around those family times. And doing those things has made a massive difference. I think I just realised that I just needed to be much more present. And so when I'm with my family, I'm now all in, and when I'm working, I'm all in. I'm not trying to mix the two. So the third thing I did was create a solid team around me. And as Oprah says, surround yourself with people that are going to lift you higher. And it's something that I've really tuned into over the years, and both, in my business and actually in my personal life. And when I think of my core team, I feel really thankful that I work with people who are kind, have similar values, and people I love to be around. And by being intentional about the people that I have around me on a daily basis means that I feel good pretty much every day, like even during the times that business just feels like a lot of hard work. So I often say that business is like having a lesson in self-development every dang day. And my husband Rob has always been great at helping me think through things, and sometimes I just need to vocalize what I'm thinking, and I've just always been really thankful to have that level of support around me. But I did get to a point in my business where I knew just having him to lean on and share, the good, the bad and the ugly wasn't actually healthy. And that's when I really looked for a mentor, and I've had a few of them over the years, but basically people who have had successful businesses that are really sounding boards, and they step in at the right time when you're going off on the wrong path perhaps, but they're basically the most incredible guide. And that has really helped me to reflect, and it has helped me to become a better business owner. And I'm so thankful for all the people that I've had in my life who have been there for me. And I've also worked with business coaches over the years who've always been amazing, and it's one of the reasons why we have a business coach in Scan and Thrive, because they help you get out of your own way. It gives you the permission to freely just express yourself and really think through issues that are presenting themselves in your business. Actually, I don't think I'd be this far in business without these people. I really, really don't. So my next recommendation is that everyone finds a mentor or a business coach. And in fact, when you look at very successful people in business like Richard Branson to, Mark Zuckerberg, they often talk about having mentors and how they've changed their life. And I think I found my first mentor at a free mentoring event, and he checked in with me twice a month unless I needed him more, and we did that for years. It was one of the best decisions that I made in my business, and I'm so thankful for it. Okay, so the next shift that I made was focusing on self-care. So I recently listened to a podcast by the motivational speaker and author Robin Sharma, which was really, really interesting. And if you haven't heard of him, definitely check him out. And he said you wouldn't drive a car and not expect to fill it up with petrol, yet when it comes to ourselves, we expect to keep going on empty. I think I thought of self-care as a luxury that people running their business just don't have. But actually, after burning out and being at a point where I had to completely reevaluate my business, I realised how important it is to really look after yourself. Like, your health is everything. I need me to be healthy, my family needs me to be healthy, and my business needs me to be healthy. And some of the things that I've built into my life, exercising regularly, like getting more sleep instead of what I used to do, which was going to bed at some random time, working till really late or watching something till really late, and eating well and really thinking about what I was putting into my body rather than just forgetting to eat or eating at some really late random time. So those are the three things that I knew would make a big impact, and it did. And maybe that's not the same for you, but I realised at some point that my body is my vehicle. It's the vehicle to do the work that I want to do to make an impact, and if it's depleted, it's not going to do anything. So I would love to know what you do to look after yourself, so let me know below in the comments. Okay, shift number 6. Now, this really links to self-care, and it's taking time out to just focus on you. And I know with young kids, this is not always easy to do, but taking time out and doing something that lights you up is important. And maybe that's time out to be with a partner or a friend, being pampered, taking a few hours out to just do you, whatever lights you up. And thinking about that quote that I mentioned earlier about being around people that lift you up. Well, I meet a very old friend of mine every single year, and we hang out for a long weekend. So we go somewhere, just me and her, and it's something that we plan in the diary. It's something I really, really look forward to. And I used to kind of feel bad doing that, but actually I'd come back home with a skip in my step. Like, I'd stepped out of being a business owner or a mum, and I was just being me for a few days, and it felt amazing. So the 7th thing I have found effective is planning my year and building in breaks with my family. And that happened actually out of necessity, because we were always in this reaction mode. Our businesses were front of mind, and it just felt like we were always like, oh my God, half term is here, like, oh my God, summer holidays are here. And we were just juggling work and school and all of those things. So what we do is plan the year in advance. We plan in time to have a break. So next year we're going interrailing around Europe, and we're going to end up camping somewhere with friends. And we've just blocked out the time, and we've booked the train, so it's actually going to happen. We're not going to move it. But it doesn't have to be abroad, just time blocked out for family. And I find that when I'm busy at work, I feel like we have these breaks to look forward to where we can just really reconnect as a family. So finally, my last point is dropping the guilt and stop trying to be perfect. So with myself, I can't do most school trips. School pickups I'm in most cases not able to do. I don't get to take my kids to all their activities. And I used to feel really, really guilty about all of that. And what I decided is that emotion is not serving me. And what is important is that when I am with my kids, I'm fully present, like I'm there. So the school plays, taking them to school, my Fridays with them, my weekends, I'm all in. And I think just being conscious of that and accepting that I'm doing the best that I can, and things will keep changing as my kids get older and my business evolves, I'm okay with that, and I'm open to things changing. So in all of this, I'm not trying to portray that I've got parenting and business nailed down, but I'm doing my best, and I definitely enjoy the dance a whole lot more having implemented the steps that I just mentioned in this video today. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments, and I would love to know how you find juggling, running a business, and also managing your family. I would love to know, what has worked for you. And if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notified every time we release a new video. And finally, if you're a parenting consultant or sleep coach and you're working with clients and you're looking to create a business model that not only allows you to scale your impact, but brings more ease into your life so you are not on all of the time, then I would love to chat to you. So you can click the link below to schedule a call with me. Thanks so much for listening. Let me know if this has been useful, and speak soon.